So hi guys, this is the part 4 of our e-commerce project in Django series. So in this part we are going to integrate Ajax in our project. So what we want to do is when we go to our particular product and click that add to cart button, we want to add this product in our cart. So for this we are going to use Ajax to collect the product information like price, product ID, and the product quantity, and then send the request to the server to get the data from the database and show it in that card. So the reason for using Ajax is through Ajax we can do this stuff without reloading the page. So let's begin. Go to your project and first go to your store and in templates and in your product info page. So here we want to utilize Ajax to get that product quantity and the product ID. So let's begin. So before that end block, just type script, and in that script first we want to check that our user click that add to cart button, and just remember that if you added the template that I have mentioned, I have added an ID add button here. So to check that our user and clicked that add to cart button, so now just a dollar sign, and in that we are going to say document dot on and check if user click on our add to cart button. We are going to pause it, add button, the ID that I mentioned, check the spelling, and to get access that ID you need a hash. So after that, if user clicked that button, we want to execute a function with event, and so in that function first we want to ensure that our function will not be executed without clicking that button. So we will say e dot prevent default and put a semicolon at the end because we are using JavaScript. So after that we are going to integrate Ajax. So Ajax in parentheses, make sure to put curly braces, and in that, so first we are going to declare the type of our request. So it is post, and then the URL will be, so here we are going to reference our URL. So what URL we want to execute the view is our cart add functionality. So URL, and it is our cart add, and you can check it if you go to the cart and in urls.py. Here is that URL that we want to utilize, and through that we want to utilize that cart add view that we are going to configure in shortly. So coming back to our Ajax, and after that we want to get that data, and the first thing we want to get is product ID. So declare a variable for that, and in that variable we want to access our product ID. So to access your product ID, just go to the button, and here you see that I have put it a value here. So if we go to our product info page, we want to access that particular product. So by default, when you create a model, we created a product model. By default, Django assigned product IDs to the objects of that model. So we are going to utilize that ID. So here in the value we are going to get that ID, particular ID, by just this product dot ID. So through this we will get the instance of that object that we are seeing here. For example, if we go to the black shoes, and here the product ID, we are accessing that particular black shoe product ID through this. So that's it. Now go to your product ID here and just add the product add button, sorry, add button, and we want to access that value, and after that we want to also collect that quantity and also the quantity that is selected here. So for this, if you go to up to that quantity, here you will see QTY, and under this you will see that ID select. So we are going to utilize it, product quantity, and here $sign, and in that we are going to pass the ID select, and we also want to select the drop down text here. Like if you go to the site, we want to select that particular drop down text that a user select there. So for this we are going to say that after select, going to say option colon selected, and we want the text that is selected, and after that we are going to pass a CS or F middleware token, because we are performing a post request, and for security we are going to use CS or F token, so we don't get any error. And the action here I am going to pass post. So that's it, and after that, if everything is okay, we want a success message, and we want a function there which will return a JSON response from our server, and we also want an error message if we got an error, and I am going to pass default values as a char error message and error. So that's it for our Ajax in our product info.html page. So after that we are going to grab that information in our views. So just first save this and recheck your code. It's good method. It's a good practice to recheck everything. e.prevent default Ajax type post URL, your cart add URL here, and after that we are going to utilize our cart add view here. So just save it and go to the views, and in view the first thing we want to import is our cart class from our cart.py. Here we are importing it, and to access our sessions. So, and the next thing is we want to import is our models from store, and the model we want to import is that product. So import them and then come to our view, cart add view. First we want to create a variable and assign it that cart class to access our sessions, because we want to save that information in our user session. And after that we want to check that if request dot post dot get is equal to where our action is equal to post. So here you need to put in small letters post, not in capital letters, because we have mentioned here post in a small letters. So make sure that you put it in a small letter. So if the request dot post dot get action is equal to post, we want to collect that data product ID, where we want to get it in integer. So we will cast integer and say request dot post dot get, and here we will pass the same variable as we declared here, product ID, because we are grabbing that information from Ajax in our views. So pass it, and after that product quantity, and here we want it also in integer. So request dot post dot get your product quantity, check the spellings, product quantity as you mentioned here in that variable, it should be the same. So after that we want to query our product database to check that what on earth we were. So we want to query our database to check our product ID. So for this we also want to import get object or 404 from Django shortcuts, as we have done in our views, in our store views, to get the instance of our product model. So here same, we want to say that our product is equal to get object or 404. Here we will pass product class, and after that we will say that where our ID is equal to that product ID. So as I mentioned that whenever you create a model in Django, it will automatically assign an ID. So you can check it if you go to your migrations and initial.py. Here you see it automatically assigned an ID to your category and product. So we are utilizing that ID to get that specific product. So after that, we want to save that information in our session. So why we have imported this cart at the top? So to utilize this, we are going to say that cart dot, and we are going to create a add function in our cart.py file. So here just first create a add function and pass the arguments self and product, and here I will changing it qty product quantity for product quantity and pass it as a placeholder. So here I am calling that function and assigning the product equal to that product that we have declared that variable. So and the product qty quantity is equal to product quantity that we accessed here through that variable. So after that, save it and go to your cart.py file, and here we are going to say that our product id is equal to product.id. So remember that we have in views we have declared that our product is equal to that product, and we are getting the instance of our product class, and here we are getting the id. So we are accessing it through in our product.id and assigning it to a variable product id. So first we want to check that if that product id exists in our cart. So for this we will say that if product id in self.cart. So what we want to do that if that product id is in the self.cart, we just only want to need to update the quantity. So for this we will say that self.cart product id, and we only need to update the quantity. We'll say declare a key and assign it to the product quantity. So if else, if that product id did not exist in our cart, we will say that our product id is equal to, we will declare a dictionary where our price, we want to also access our price, is product dot price, and our qty quantity is equal to product dot quantity. Product and qty quantity. So after that we are going to say that our self.cart.session, no, this we will say self.session.modified is equal to true. So we will say that our session is modified and we will set it equal to true. So that's it for this part, and in the next part we are going to analyze our code functionality through our Python shell. So that's it guys. If you like the video, subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. So in the next part we are going to analyze our code functionality through our Python shell. So that's it.